Hi everyone, my name is Justus Berger. I'm a composer, arranger, and orchestrator from Germany, and I'm joined here today by Josef Rauch, one of the low horn players from the Symphony Orchestra of Bonn. And today we'd like to talk a little bit about low horn playing and the Wagner Tuba.
Yes, hello.
Welcome and thank you very much for doing this.
Thanks for the invite.
I like to start with the usual question of just how did you get to play the horn? What was the decision behind that? How did you end up in this orchestra? A little bit of your background.
Yeah, so my story, like how I chose the horn as a kid, is actually kind of funny because, like, normally children choose the instrument with the sound or like how they like it. For me, it was I saw like a marching band walking past our village, and I thought it was really funny that you stick your hand in the bell as a horn. So I told my dad I really want to learn the horn. Yeah, actually that's my first contact with the instrument. Of course, after that I fell in love with the sound and the role you play in an orchestra.
Right.
Of course, this is the rest then of the story. And then I did my studies. I studied bachelor and masters in Germany and in Austria. And I auditioned here in Bonn and I got the job and now I'm here.
Nice. So when you auditioned there, was there also part of the audition whether or not you were gonna play Wagner Tuba or
No. There we had 3 rounds of just normal horn playing, and the Wagner Tuba you just have it in your trial period. You play it and then the colleagues can listen and hear if it's good or not, but
right?
they just expect you to play it.
Right.
It's not like something you play in an audition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you had to be able to play it to sign up, basically.
Actually, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And is that for all horn players, or did you sign up as like a specialist?
That's in Germany. I can say it's a thing of contracts. So there we are 7 hornists in the orchestra, and 4 of us. We have the obligatory part to play Wagner Tuba.
Right.
But I can't choose. It's just like the contract I applied to, and I got the job, so I have to play. If there's like a Bruckner symphony or a Wagner opera, I have to play the tuba.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like they have an opening for a horn player who also needs to play Wagner Tuba,
Yes.
and you apply for that, and so
Yeah.
Okay. Why is it not everyone?
Actually, it's just a money thing because you get a little bit more extra payment per month. So because you only need 4 tuba players, so they're just 4 contracts.
That
like
makes sense,
yeah.
because usually Wagner tubas are used in pairs of 2 and 2 of them, so 4 players. Yeah. Okay, nice. Why did you choose the low horn playing?
So for me, there are just 2 points. The first one is when I started my studies, I just felt that I'm just better in playing the low parts. Like I was genetically, or I don't know, like my talent was more in the low horn part side, and I just like the role as a hornist in the orchestra much more to be like the second guy who helps and produces the sound for the principal horn or third horn. So for me it was just a natural thing to be a low hornist. There was not a real decision, it was just like what felt right.
Right. So it's perhaps a lot also a personality question.
You can say that, I guess, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe principal horns tend to be more like more on stage, like much more. They have more character. I don't know.
A little more show pony.
Yeah, actually yes. And like the low horns or second or fourth horns, they just try to stay a little bit behind and help the others out.
Right.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. So we just touched briefly on the separation between low horn playing and high horn playing, and it's a very interesting question because especially amongst orchestrators, if you speak to professionals from other countries and especially also from other scenes, so the studio recording scene versus the classical orchestra scene, you hear different approaches. And for example, in America, also in London, I think they don't divide between high horn players and low horn players. They just expect everybody to play everything. And if you ask the players, then they're gonna tell you, "Oh yeah, it's low horn playing and high horn playing. That's just something from the past, and
Okay.
it doesn't matter, and we can do everything." And and I was always wondering, are they right? Are they just trained differently, or is it just a business thing? Maybe I don't know, because it seems like in at least in Central Europe, right? Most people are dividing between high horn and low horn, and to me, it sounds like it makes sense because everybody has something that they're better at, and also the personality thing makes a definitely big difference, especially in music. Personality always makes a difference.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, what do you think? How is that possible that they don't divide between high horn and low horn?
So I think in general, like if you want to be a professional hornist, you just have to play everything.
Right.
That's like the skill level is so high nowadays, or it was also high like 50 or 100 years ago.
Yeah.
So of course I can play the high parts too. It's just not like the I'm most specialized in.
Yeah.
So I think it kind of makes sense that maybe in America or in London they say we just compose like everybody's high or low. Of course, when we play John Williams or different stuff, it's kind of the same, you have to say. Or if I play a Bruckner symphony, of course I have to play high notes also. It's in my part too. Or if I play Mahler, I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, it's like from the standard repertoire. Like we have to play our 3 octaves minimum. So of course we can do this, but still I think like if you ask a principal horn or a second hornist what's the difficulties in their job, I think there will be like very different answers.
Yeah.
So in that case, I think it's a good thing to still divide. So you as a professional musician, you can choose what you want to do,
Yeah.
like where you see more talent in your playing. So of course I can play high stuff, but I tend to be a much better second horn player because I'm good at supporting, for example.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's, of course, the truth is everybody has to play
Yeah.
everything, but I think to still divide, it's better for the day-to-day job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about this because your logic makes 100% sense to me that okay, yes, everybody's a professional, everybody has to do everything anyways, but naturally everyone is a little bit better at something, so why not give them those things to do which they're better at anyways? And I'm just wondering if that wouldn't be better for recordings too, if you just okay, I as an orchestrator, I have some low horn stuff to give to the orchestra. So wouldn't it be nice for me if I knew who from the orchestra is best at that, and then I give it to these people?
Yeah.
But that's, I don't know.
Maybe it will also come in the future. Maybe it's like when orchestras started playing, like hornists weren't hornists. Like to at the time when Bach was alive, there was
Right.
trumpet player just
Right.
playing every brass instrument. So it's always like it just comes
Yeah.
with time, with
That's true.
what we need and what we don't need. So
Yeah.
I think it will maybe happen like this or not.
Yeah.
We will see.
Yeah, could be interesting. For you as a player, what would you say are the actual differences between playing low horn and high horn? Like technically, what's do you have to breathe differently? Do you have to use your lips differently? What?
Yeah, so the horn playing is the same, of course, but like if you tend to play more low, I guess you need a little bit of a different airflow, like because you just have a lower lip frequency in the vibration, so you need for example, you just need a little bit more airflow than not as fast air if you would need in the high register. So maybe this is, you can say a difference. Sorry. Otherwise, as I said, like we do play everything. Like I think everybody has its own technique how they use it. Of course, we have like the limitations we have, or we learn how horn playing works, and everybody makes this knowledge like uses, like everybody wants to use it. So everybody uses his own embouchure, his own technique, and his own airflow, how it works for your body, for your lips, and like for your music, like how you want to do. So there's not like one answer to say.
Yeah. But would you say that when playing a lot of high notes and then quickly afterwards having to play really low, that's an issue because your lips are kind of in a different state or something?
Yeah. So it's hard to do like very flexible stuff. I think for every instrument, also in the horns, like if you play very long in a high register, you use different muscles, and you have to use them very strongly because you have to hold the force you push with the air through your lips. So you have to use your embouchure to hold your lips. So, and if you then quickly move low, you need different muscles and a different airflow. So the lips, they tend to need a little time to just to vibrate again.
Yeah.
So to say.
Okay.
So it's just a thing of difficulty. It's like it's not impossible.
Yeah.
It's just like it's not easy to do. Yeah.
But what would you say is, like, if you have 10 seconds of rest afterwards, is that good, or do you need like 3 minutes of rest after?
It's every day different.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
You just can't say like everybody is different, and like it if you play like a 5-hour long Wagner opera, and then in the end you have like a huge flexible passage to play, it's actually really difficult because you're just tired. There's no real answer. So some people can do it, some tend to have more difficulties with it, but in general everything is possible. It's just always like how we use it and how's the day. And
would you say there are any things that are easier to do in the higher or in the middle or in the lower register? Or, for example, like playing very precise and like very staccatissimo, or playing leaps, or any of these things? Or would you say like it doesn't really matter to you if it's low or middle or whatever?
Yeah. So you can say in general it's more easy in like in a comfortable area of playing, like in the middle register. Everything tends to be a little bit more easy because you don't have to be as precise with the airflow or with your embouchure. I guess it's more easy to play in a middle register. It's more easy to play more precise than in a very high or very low register.
Yeah. So by precise, you mean intonation or the attack of the note or everything?
Yeah, everything, like as we said, like dynamics, attacks, intonation, of course. It's in general you can say it's more easy to do like what's in the scores.
So basically everything's more easy in the middle register than very high or very low.
You could say that.
All right. Okay. More reliable, at least.
Yes.
Yeah. When you play very long notes, held notes, which as a second or fourth horn player you tend to do, especially in classical music, I think, is it? I'm guessing then it's also more difficult when you have to play them really low and have to play them really constant and stable.
Yes.
That's also much more tricky than if it was in the middle register.
It's like not impossible. It just needs more focus and maybe more training.
Right.
But you, of course, you can do it. It's all a thing of possibilities.
Right.
but it can be more tricky because it's just a little bit more exhausting for the embouchure, or you need more air or like more fast air than in a more comfortable register.
All right.